Hello, welcome. I should turn my light on, huh? I am Amanda Warfield. Welcome to the Get More Eyes on Your Sales Page Challenge. This is day 4. For those that haven't met me yet, I am a simplicity-focused content marketing strategist and copywriter, and I go live here on YouTube every single Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And I chat about all the different ways that course creators and online educators can make a larger impact in less time. So get more eyes on their sales page is a great example of that. And we, with this challenge, are, and I will drop the link in the chat here on YouTube for anyone joining live. If you've not signed up for this challenge yet, we still have one more day and one more workbook. So if you want to join us for that and get day 5's workbook tomorrow, I highly encourage you to sign up for this challenge. But you can go back and watch in the playlist that I've created on my YouTube page. You can watch all of the videos from the entire challenge, all 5, well, 4 days after this one, but then 5 days after tomorrow's. And the entire purpose of this challenge is that a lot of times when we have an offer that isn't selling as well as we would like it to, we tend to think our first guess is always that, okay, the offer is the problem. The thing I've created is the actual problem. But most of the time, that's actually not the case. It's usually not an offer problem. Majority of the time, it's a traffic problem. And so the reason you're not seeing the sales that you need or want is because you're not getting enough eyes on your sales page. And the best way, a great way to fix it, is by going back to your messaging. And so that's what we're doing with this challenge. This is a 5-day challenge to help you craft irresistible marketing messaging around your offer so that you can take that messaging about your offer and use it within your content marketing. And then that way you can use your content marketing to drive that traffic from both your content marketing, but then also any growth marketing that you're doing, like podcast interviews or guesting on someone's YouTube channel or Pinterest or whatever, using that messaging on all of those different platforms and all of those different marketing spheres to drive that traffic to your offer. That way you can really test, okay, now I'm getting more traffic. What's my conversion rate? And is it a traffic problem still? Is it a messaging problem? Is it an offer problem? What is it? But we can't know what the actual problem is, which most of the time it is traffic. We can't know exactly what the problem is without getting more traffic into the page anyways. And so it's kind of one of those two birds, one stone thing. You improve your messaging so that you can get people from one area of your audience to that offer page. And if it's a traffic problem, well, you solve the problem. If it's not a traffic problem, you're able to figure out what the problem is. So that is the entire premise. And the hope with this challenge is that we can create marketing messaging that is actually going to help people really understand what your offer is about and how it's going to help them. Now, yesterday we talked all about the transformation. Today, we're actually going to talk about the problem that your offer solves. So, what I want to make really clear is that we're talking about the actual problem your offer solves today, not what your audience thinks that their problem is. What I mean by this is that often they're two very different things, and depending on where your audience is in their customer journey, which, you can be problem unaware, problem aware, solution aware, offer aware, there's all these different parts of the customer journey. Depending on where they are in that customer journey, they may not be aware of what the problem is that they actually have. And so tomorrow we're going to talk about the problem before the problem that they think they have. But today we're talking very specifically about what problem your offer itself solves. So to give an example of how this works, I share this example all the time, but with my course Content Batching Bootcamp, the problem that I'm actually solving with that course is not having a system for content creation. That's the problem. Within Content Batching Bootcamp, you learn how to create a month's worth of content in 1 week, but the problem that's being solved is creating a system that will allow you to then do that thing. So you can see the end result and the transformation are different from the problem that is being solved, right? So you can see how you can use all of this within your messaging. But the problem that's being solved is that someone doesn't have a system for creating content. They don't have a really nailed down system for content creation. And so within Content Batching Bootcamp, you learn how to create a system that's unique to your business and unique to your life so that it makes sense in the scheme of things for your life and business. And then once you have that system in place, you're able to batch out that content and create a month's worth at one time. So the problem being solved is not having a system. Now, that's not what people think their problem is. Most people don't go into batching and go, or even go into concrete content creation and go, oh, well, my problem is that I don't have a system in place. That's not, most people aren't thinking that, right? Most people are thinking, okay, well, my problem is that I don't have enough time. Or my problem is that content creation is too time consuming. So the problem that they think they have and the problem that I'm solving are actually two different things. And so I have to use my marketing messaging to take them from problem unaware to problem aware. Hence, why today we are talking about the problem itself. So the problem may or may not be something that your audience actually thinks that they have. And if it is a case of them not being aware, it's your job to frame it in a way so that it clicks. Hello, Octavia. Welcome. You're muted, baby.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome. Okay, so I was just going over the difference between the problem your offer actually solves and then the problem before the problem, which is actually what we'll go over tomorrow. But do you have any questions about that before I move on?
Nope.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so then focusing on the problem that the offer actually solves, there are three things that you want to focus on and brainstorm about as you're discovering, okay, what is it? What is the exact problem that my offer actually solves for them? First is that pain point. What are the pain points that your audience has? We talked about this some on day one where we talked about the audience, but what is it? What's the problem that your audience has in relation to your offer or problems? You could, brainstorm as many things as you think of, but make sure at the end of it you can explain really clearly and with empathy what it is the pain point or the problem is for your audience. What are they struggling with? What's that pain point? Then you have to dive deeper and look at the root cause of said pain point. So, not just what's the pain point, but what is causing that? Often, this deeper reason behind that problem, that's going to really dig up what it is that you're problem solving. That's where you're going to go, oh, this is what I'm actually doing with this thing that I'm sharing with them. And then the third thing you want to look at is the consequences. If this problem persists, how does it impact their life? How does it impact their business? How does it impact their relationship? Whatever it is that, your offer is. For you, Octavia, obviously it's business, but how does it impact their business? Are they losing money? Are they losing time? What is it? So then you take those three things, which if you have the workbook for day 4, if you have signed up for the challenge itself, you've got day 4's workbook, and there's room to brainstorm all three of those. And then there's a spot at the bottom for you to go, okay, the problem that my offer solves is blank. And so that's today's work. Have you had a chance to look over it?
Yes, I have. So my offer solves the problem of well, two problems, I guess. Um,
Wait, pause. Just for everyone watching the replay. What offer are you talking about? Kind of back.
I am talking about web design and HoneyBook setups. Yep, so those are my two offers. Um, and when I think about what they solve, it is HoneyBook definitely, I'm saving them time. A lot of back and forth, a lot of manual steps in their business. But then when I think about their website, it's more so I'm solving the professional aspect and having that online, storefront. That's how I think of it. And of course I'm saving them time as well, so they don't have to do it themselves. But that's almost like a double-headed thing.
Okay, so I want to dig deeper in that because I think wasted time is a consequence of
Hmm.
not solving the problem, but I actually think it goes deeper than that. So let's start with HoneyBook, right? You have this setup that you do. If
Hmm.
they aren't working with you, what does HoneyBook look like for them?
It's usually a mess. It's crowded. They have, they don't have, usually they don't have canned emails. They probably have a smart file, excuse me, that they've created, excuse me, for every single person instead of, like having a template. So usually that's the biggest thing, tons of schedulers, or they're not even utilizing their scheduler. Um, a lot of unused tools, but most of the time it's just a mess.
So, okay, consequences here. I'm hearing one, they may be paying for additional tools that they don't need because HoneyBook may offer them what they need.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they're also spending a lot of time with all client coordination, communication, and all of that. And so the pain point then, those are consequences, but then the pain point is then what? What is obviously it's a mess and they're overwhelmed, but when they come to you, what is it that they're like, okay, is it I need help because I hate looking at HoneyBook. I need help because I'm spending so much time
Mm-hmm.
on my client stuff. What is that?
Usually they say, like they'll say it's overwhelming. It's too much to learn at one time, to get it all up and going. Usually that's their biggest thing. It's overwhelming and they don't want to spend, like I said, spend the time to learn all the things.
Okay, great. Those are going to be really great to remember for tomorrow. That learning, especially, and then the overwhelm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, You've already kind of said this, but they're overwhelmed because it's a mess. But why is it a mess?
Because they haven't taken time to actually think about what their client experience is. They're just, hoping and praying and wishing on something.
That, that right there. The problem your offer solves has to do with client experience.
Okay. Which
It
is
does.
funny because that's a part of my remember I told you I just redid my elevator pitch, and that's the thing, helping people create a magical client experience.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%. The thing that your offer, the problem your offer solves is client experience. And they may or may not know that yet. That may be something you have to really teach them.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually their problem, but the problem is client experience. And you can tie that back to, okay, the way it looks, right? Maybe there's not consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Also, if you don't have those automations set up and you don't have it all set up, things are falling through the cracks.
Mm-hmm.
Also, time. If they're spending all of their time on the back end of working with their clients,
Mm-hmm.
they don't have that time to take it,
No.
take the client
Yeah.
experience to the next level. So you can hit that from so many different angles within your messaging, but the problem your offer solves is it has to do with client experience. And
Mhm.
we can continue moving forward with that as
Yeah.
like, okay, what specifically about the client experience, but whatever. Client experience, really diving down in like, okay,
Into all the
I
pieces.
am this, pulling it away, client experience. And I
Yeah.
would venture a guess that it's probably the same for your website too.
Yeah. It is. It's basically the same thing. Usually their websites are a mess. They have things and elements, in random places. Or their website just looks a mess, period, whatever platform that they're on. And, then they come to me and we talk about the client experience so that we can, oh, excuse me, craft a website, what I mean, that will actually drive, visitors from inquiry to, booking.
Mm, okay. So it's like it's the top of the funnel. It's the first step in that
Yeah,
client experience.
yeah, yeah. It's definitely the first step. Because, oh, in an ideal world, we want them to, land on our website, learn all the things, then, decide that, hey, we're the person for them, and then they book. Or they
Yeah.
schedule a consult, which then they move into the CRM aspect.
I would love to see your content, your emails, and your social media really focus in on client experience
Okay.
because I think that is the key to what it is that you're doing. And instead of just I'm another person that does HoneyBook, it's no, I do HoneyBook to help improve your client experience.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, we can keep fleshing that out too and make it even more niche and unique. But I think really focusing in on the problem I'm solving
Yeah.
You need a better client experience.
Yeah. Yeah. From the, from start to finish, even when we talk about email marketing, okay, you're getting their email addresses and then what?
Hmm.
Is there an email sequence? I'm sorry. I
You can have
promise
your
every time I get
day.
on Zoom, it's the funny. No, I promise every time I get on Zoom, it can be 8 o'clock in the morning. If I open up Zoom, I start yawning. It's the craziest thing. I don't know.
I'm
I
like
don't
that
do it on
with
Google
the-
Meet though, but I do it on Zoom.
I wonder if
It's
it's the black screen.
I don't know, but it might be. But um, yeah. So even with, like I said, with the email addresses, you'll be surprised how many people they'll collect them and then there's nothing. There's no welcome sequence. There's no regular emails. Thanks to my amazing content coach, I was able to set up, sequences for my new offer
Yeah.
that did not send them, put them in the email of my regular emails. So I felt like a whole new person. Um, and initially when I got to the computer, I was like, oh my God, I can't remember what she said. I remember the do not disturb. And then I clicked around on a couple buttons and then I was like, oh yeah, this is what she said. And so, but
That's so
yeah, even just helping them, even part of me with the client experience is helping them find the right people. I think you spoke to a friend of mine's, Frazier, recently.
yes.
Yeah. So, you know what I mean? Like she came to me helping her find, the people that would bring her dream to reality. Uh,
Hmm.
so, it's not just, oh, she's designing these things for me. If you need a copywriter, here's, the person do that. If you need emails, here's the person, again, connecting all
Yeah.
the pieces for a magical client experience.
I love it.
Okay. So I get it. Focus on like, that's my top shindig. Now, where's my Bible? See, it's over there on the I need to go write that on this, like in the margins. Like you have enough space where I write things
People
in
are
my
gonna think you're
Bible.
talking about your actual Bible.
No, 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 no. Oh yeah, no, no, guys, that's not no. My
To be
my
life
business
involved.
Bible. It's my business Bible. I need to go, where you have the content pillars or the content buckets. Um, I need
Yeah,
to go right
client experience needs to be yours. One of yours.
there. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So like, yeah, so my thing would be client experience, and then, it's like educational, entertainment, all the things that you put there.
Mhm.
Okay.
Engaging.
Now my wheels are turning. I never thought about it that way. People
Yeah.
like, oh, what's the problem? I'm saving them time. Like anybody else, what I mean? It never dawned on me to be like, oh, well, why
And
am I doing
see,
that?
that's the time aspect is the problem before the problem, right?
Yes,
That's what they think they need is for you to
yes,
save them time.
yes,
But what you're actually doing takes that to a deeper level.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Because you do so much more than save them time. You're doing
yeah, exactly.
so much more
So
than just
much more, yeah. But like people, I guess then part of it was like, oh, people understand saving time, and but versus when I say, oh, a client experience. But like you said, if I brace my content around like talking about this, like, hey, yes, I am setting up schedulers so because of your client experience. You know what I mean? Like everything ties back into client experience, and then they see it enough, they're like, oh, they can relate one thing to the other.
well, and it gives you a better framework for talking about the different aspects. Like you can take any Honeybook feature and
Yes.
say,
And
oh,
yes.
how does this relate to client experience?
Mhm.
Right. And it gives you that unique angle of here's what I'm doing and why. Here's why this is important. Here's why the scheduling tool matters. Here's why smart files matter. Here's why, XYZ.
Yeah.
Uh, it just takes your content to the next level and really makes it a little bit more eye-catching.
Yeah. Even when I think about website design, like you said, this is why the homepage needs to be like this. It's all about the client experience. Like all these pages, the journey the way that I build them, there's a journey, and the journey is their client experience. Is a way that in which, the average human interacts when they land on a website and how they perceive, like when they're reading. Like a lot of times I see a lot of times on websites, it's like the name of the company, and then it's like about the person.
Hmm.
And I'm like, but you haven't told them anything. It's just like, oh, I got 3 cats. I like lattes and I have kids. Instead of saying, like, hey, this is your problem and this is how I'm going to solve it, or this is how I can make your life better, with these different things.
Hmm.
But they go right into my cats and my lattes. And I'm just like, yeah, no one, I mean, yes, we care in Instagram stories, but not on your website.
See, you can do like individual pages, content around
Yes.
the client experience on individual pages, but then you can also do like different canvases on different pages.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can like even break it down further.
Yeah.
Even like buttons. Like
Yes.
what should your
Like
button look like?
I'm a firm believer in buttons are all the same color. So across every platform, everything that I have, all of my buttons are yellow.
And see, that's a hot take right there. And
Yes.
that's something that you can really like stick your
Yes. The
that's
only
that
time my
you feel like
buttons
your
are
welcome
not
seat.
yellow, the only time the buttons are not yellow is if I have like two buttons, you know what I mean, like next to each other, because I just want to be able to differentiate the two. But otherwise, but the top one, the main button will still be yellow. The secondary button will be a different color. The
Mhm.
the buttons are always yellow. So no matter what you have going on with me, you're on the website, the buttons were yellow. You get your CRM, you come into my CRM, the buttons are yellow.
Mhm.
If you're on my email marketing, the buttons are yellow.
Mhm.
It's, they know to expect the yellow button.
Mhm.
Like I know every year in, well, now September, October, I can start to expect to see Black Friday sales. Like I know this. People know that pumpkin spice latte comes out whenever it comes out. I'm not a pumpkin spice latte
August
person, but
22nd. I don't even know. I
yeah,
haven't one yet.
yeah. But we expect certain things at certain times. Like that's just how we is. It's a human thing. So yeah,
Yeah.
okay, I like that. I'm going to, I thought I was going to go to sleep after this. I think I'm going to dive into like jot down some notes.
I mean, you could also just rewatch this replay tomorrow and jot down notes then.
I could. I'm selling a car tomorrow, so I'm really excited.
Okay.
And I'll let you know how the client experience of selling this car tomorrow. I'm selling my son's first car. It's an old beater, like, so it's time. I've been paying, he's had it an extra 2 years. And
Mhm.
I mean, I kept it for 2 years and I've been paying car insurance and registration for 2 years and it's not dry, no one's driving it. I was like, I can't do this anymore. Um,
Yeah, but that's also a really great thing you could do is like a series where you discuss client experiences in your life
mhm.
and like doing that as a series in your content as well. Like, oh, I went to Walmart today and I had this experience that affected my client experience, and here's why it was good or why it
Yeah.
was not so good.
Yeah. Yeah. Walmart ghetto. But yes, definitely, when I think about good client experiences and like places that I patronize, it's usually the I hate to say mom and pop, but the solopreneur like you and I, type establishments. So I just had for dinner, I just had Smiley's Burger. It's like, a little, they just came out of like, they were doing like mobile pop-ups and now they have an actual brick and mortar, not too far from the house. The client experience there is amazing.
Mhm.
And you wouldn't think just because, like it's like a little pop-up type thing, but I go, like they know my name now. I've only gone 8 to 10 times in the past 3 weeks. I digress. But they know my name. She's like, "Hey, Octavia, nice to see you again." You, the people at Chick-fil-A even know my name. So I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but it's all about that. You know what I mean? But it makes me want to tell other people, oh my God, you should go there. My mechanic, he is freaking amazing. He works on my car, my son's car, and like a neighbor's car, and he knows, like he knows me, he knows my car, like he knows all the things. He
Mhm.
provide, and I'm sure he gets thousands of cars in there all the time. But the fact that he takes the time to get to know, like me, what and my family and what everybody needs, it's that client experience. So you're right, I could do a whole series about client experience and the places that I go to, because I'm trying to think what has a bad. Walmart, the only thing they got bad client experience. Target even got good client experience.
But you
It's
could
just
also take that and then um so talk about client experience and then talk about the importance of a good client experience and
Mhm.
like having good client experience makes me want to refer people. Having a good client experience will lead to more what like
Yeah, Google reviews. Yeah, like I'm a Google review person. I was somewhere recently and I bought something and she was like, "Oh, you're gonna get a thing on your receipt." And I said, "Oh yeah, I'm all about leaving reviews. Like I love leaving reviews for people. Because even if it's not a pleasant experience, it still helps them better
yeah,
themselves at the end of the day.
absolutely.
But when it's a good one, I'm like, listen, I will go on and on. Y'all need to give this person a raise. I'm that person.
Those are the good ones. You're like, yes.
Yes. So
Well,
yeah.
any other questions?
That's it, because now I got work to do.
I love it. We love walking away with action steps. Okay, so
Yes.
anyone who is watching live, if you want me to help you dive deeper, um, go ahead and pop in the comments what your offer is. If you've got a sales page up, even better, so I can really take a deep dive at that. And then where you've gotten so far with the problem that your offer solves. Anyone who's watching the replay, go ahead and do the same thing in the comments, and I'll come back and share my thoughts real quick with you there. And yeah, I'll give everyone just a minute. See anyone who's watching now if they want to pop theirs into the chat. Um, but yeah, thanks for coming live and being a guinea pig, Octavia. I appreciate it. You're muted again, I think.
Thank you. Anytime. I'll chat with you later, girlfriend. My son wants to watch. We're going through the Marvel series. Yay.
That's
It's a
pretty
client
cool.
experience, okay? Because I have questions.
Enjoy. Have fun.
Bye.
All right, guys, I will be back tomorrow, same time. I don't see anyone in the chat here live. Nope. Okay. So I'll be back tomorrow, same time, and we will be talking about the final day, day 5, and we're going to be talking about the problem before the problem, which is the problem that your audience thinks they have, which, like Octavia was saying, or people think that their problem is that they're overwhelmed, they don't want to learn, and that they don't have time, all of that stuff. And what she's really helping them do is improve their client experience. So I'm excited to chat more about that tomorrow. And again, if you want help with any of this, just leave a comment on that day's video. You can leave